Welcome, everybody, to episode 243 of the You Can't Comp This NBA Trading Card Podcast. We're your hosts, Adam, Amy, and Russell Gibson, and we're doing a bit of a different show this week.
Absolutely.
Tell us all about it, Russell. What's the idea? We're going to go through a list.
Well, the first thing we should point out is today's Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
It's not our normal recording day. So this is an extra show. It's a special show for us. We wanted to do something to celebrate the new NBA season. So happy NBA season, everybody. If you're a bit like me, who's not crazy for Christmas, this is almost like my Christmas day, really. I'm very happy the NBA is back. So to celebrate this very fantastic day of the year, we're just going to go through a whole bunch of players that are in the league this year, check their market values. Let's get a baseline to see where everybody's at. We're going to do a little bit of prospecting, but not a lot. So this is more about seeing where the big guns are, the top 20 sort of players. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk some rookies. We got Cooper Flag in here. We got Ace Bailey. We got VJ Edgecombe. In terms of prospecting, we've got Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. We're going to do some stuff like that. It's not going to be deep cuts. It's not going to be Herb Jones.
They're not in order, though.
There's no order to this. This is just how what we believe is the most exciting thing. So, for example, for me, my four most exciting players at the moment is Cooper Flag, Wemby, Ace Bailey, and VJ Edgecombe. But that doesn't mean that it's better than Nikola Jokic, who's next on the list. So this is not a list of who's the best in the league. It's just who we want to talk about in true You Can't Comp This fashion. So let's just get into it straight away. Cooper Flag is my number one with an absolute bullet at the moment. He has been dunking on fools. If you saw the Toronto Raptors highlights of him just literally just taking flight, dunking on the Raptors, giving Anthony Davis a chest bump. I love the whole thing. I love his bravado. I also love him too because he's not talking trash about the whole thing. He's just getting that out there and doing it, right? So I think I love that whole part of it. My interesting takeaway from him, though, is his age. I think we need to talk about that. I really feel somehow this, for me, has gone under the radar. So he's the second youngest player to start a game in his NBA debut, 2 years older than LeBron James in his first game. So, he's basically the second youngest player to come into the league.
Sorry, the stat is to start a game at debut because obviously Kobe's debut was on the bench and he was young out of high school. But
sure.
So Kobe wasn't a starter for the Lakers. Yeah. So that's why. But to actually start LeBron, Dwight, Cooper Flag are the top three.
I just think for that age and how good he is already, you don't need to know basketball.
I don't know. I keep tuning in, and the guy does nothing. He got 0 points. I watched a half of basketball.
Okay. so my defense about that is he's currently starting at point guard for the Mavericks, and there's a precedent that's already been set for this. So if you go back to LeBron, he started at point guard for the Cavs. Kevin Durant, when he came into the league, started as a shooting guard, and we all know how that turned out. At some point, they're going to get him back to his more natural position, which actually I think he's going to play the 3, but he might also play some sort of small ball 4. So let's do some sales on him. Obviously, this is all very new. The market is very up and down at the moment. 25-26 Topps Chrome, 1980-81 refractor on that. That's sold for $89 USD. The Cooper Flag flagship rookie card, that's sold for $750. So I think there's been a lot of hype around this, and I think there's also been, a fair bit of talk around this in that don't fall into the trap. Remember the day that LaMelo Ball sold for $200 for a Hoops base card? So that isn't happening here. I think that's a really good thing. So, and if you want to go out and get Cooper's first rookie card and you can get it for less than $10, it's not great if you're paying massive money for a break and you're trying to flip these cards on. But in terms of the collector's point of view, and if we're talking about kids and the sort of, people who dabble in that lower end stuff, this is a huge win for you. You can go out and get a Cooper rookie card. I love this a lot. Let's move on to the next player, which is going to be taken by you, and it's going to be Wemby.
Yeah, it's going to be Wemby. I've got some stats for you, and this man is tearing up the league.
Yeah, it's actually he's freakish now, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting one, and credit goes to my friend Andrew, who I do another podcast with and just talk basketball.
Yeah, right. We're doing some crossover to the crossover pod.
Well, yeah, credit where credit's due.
Yeah, for sure.
Player efficiency rating over for career. Nikola Jokic leads all players. We concede that he...
He's the best player in basketball.
Yeah, that's a very accurate...
Easy way to say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So career player efficiency rating,
Yep.
I think it's 28.5. It's one of the highest ever. Through the first 4 games of this NBA season, Victor Wembanyama has a player efficiency rating of 41.2. The man is averaging 31 points, 13.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists. Do we really want to go into... After 3 games, it was 6 blocks a game. It's come down significantly. The man is averaging 4 blocks a game and is jacking threes.
Well, the jacking threes part, so the Kirk Goldsberry stat that came out around that was last year, his average shot distance was 18 feet.
18 feet. Now it's got to 11.
11.
Is it? Yeah.
So I think that my takeaway from that is that his shot selection is improved dramatically.
Yeah, there was a highlight film of him blocking 2 shots, getting the rebound, going down the court, and just nailing it from the logo.
Yeah. It's almost unfair now at this point in time.
Then there's the 360 layup. Then there's the posterizing and absolutely mauling of Anthony
He's so
Davis.
big. He's so agile. Honestly, that was my also takeaway from seeing him in person. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of take fouls this year on Wemby because what else can you do to stop him other than foul him intentionally? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? Yeah.
And the market has reacted.
All right, we have to talk about this.
I've gone straight to the silver PSA 10 instant reaction. So we're talking October 21st sale of $960.
Yeah.
Last sold yesterday, 1,761.
Okay.
The card's almost doubled over the period of the first week. Now, that could be a little bit of a, oh my God, hype for the first 4 games, but you can see that the market has reacted. The pop count hasn't come down on it. The pop count is still 4,800 on that card. It's Victor Wembanyama is the story of the NBA right now, and he is taking over the league.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, wasn't that long ago that he was injured?
Clearly wasn't injured enough to not learn about basketball because he spent the offseason with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, but there was a point when people were bleeding money on this, and it was almost like, are people going to dump these? And now if you had bought that 2 months ago, you've doubled your money and more.
Yeah.
It's just... It's an amazing rebound in terms of... I think the question for me is now, like obviously we've missed the boat in terms of picking one of these up for a reasonable price. Is it a buy, hold, or a sell? I think if you've got a silver Wemby card, I think you sell it at this price.
You sell it at this price? You don't think it's going to go higher?
I just think long-term, it might go higher, but I just think long-term with the population on that, we all sort of know...
Yeah.
I think selling in the hype is a really good idea. And, we've seen that time and again. And you just try and buy an autograph or you try and buy even an NT patch. Like those are selling really well. Different. Or you try and get...
something in the lower pop. Yeah.
Yeah. Lower pop. Sure. I think that's the thing. Yeah.
That's the key. All right.
Great breakdown. Well done, mate. That was good. All righty. The next one is Ace Bailey. This is my current honey. Again, after seeing him in person, I'm just like, look, I love this kid. So obviously this is me and my absolute peak bias. So take what I'm about to say as you will. Now, there's not a lot of sales data out around this guy. However, there is some sales. So let's talk about some of the bigger ones. Topps flagship Ace Bailey rookie gold on-card autograph numbered to 50. That's sold for $550 USD. I think if we're just going to use that one card as a singular talking point and discussion point, I think for me that's an absolute stay away. In saying that, there are cheaper autographs out there on the market. So there's the Ace Bailey 25-26 Topps Contemporary Marks rookie card autograph that's sold for $91 and then $95. So there is cheaper entry points for you to get in. I just think with this guy buying that at $550, like where does it go from that price? In the short term, I suspect it goes down. In the long term, look, that might turn out to be a really good buy if he turns out to be as good as what I'm frothing over. But I think for me, like, I love this kid. I'm very excited by him, all that good stuff. But I would also still be very cautious buying into him.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like he's the type of guy that you buy in his second or third year. Once the hype's gone away, the hype train for the next rookie class is in, and he can start to sort of pick up pieces here and there on the cheap. I think that's the play with someone like this kid because, again, he's in Utah. It's not a big market.
Yeah.
I think you would hope that he will get traded in, say, 5 years' time, and that's when his prices will pick up after you've bought them after 3 years. I think that's where my head is with that. I think the other good thing about this too is just having a look at some of his cards and seeing what's coming out for them. Look, I think some of the designs on these cards are actually quite nice. I've been enjoying just sort of flicking through them. So the last one I'll just share that here is the rookie photo shoot autograph. I kind of feel like that's almost a rip-off of the Don Russ next day autograph. Like even the text on it looks very similar to that. Am I mad about that? Not really. It's actually a nice looking card.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's me for that. And you're going to do some VJ Edgecombe for us, Ad?
I am. I would say they're polar opposites at the moment.
All right, hit me. What do you got?
Because Ace Bailey's averaging 2 points a game. Poor guy. He was good in the preseason, but VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah.
My goodness, this guy has had a historic debut, dropping 34 points. Has been exciting, and I have to say, I may have underrated the Philadelphia 76ers, as may a lot of people have. Him and Maxey are looking like a dynamic duo at this point, but it's early.
The question is, like, how fast can they get rid of Embiid and Paul George off their salary cap?
Embiid looked good today.
Okay.
It's a day on, day off proposition. Who knows?
Yeah, 100%. His knees are cooked, man.
Yeah, look, Paul George, he's doing well in semi-retirement, not playing basketball. VJ Edgecombe, however, the other number 77 in the league, what a debut.
Yeah, he's good. He's exciting, isn't he?
Very exciting. And look, he's hit the ground running quite literally. I've just jumped on eBay looking at some completed listings.
Yeah.
We've got his Topps True Gold numbered to 50 rookie card. So the flagship release. We've got sold listings for $3,800. We've got sold listings for $2,500, and this is the number to 50. These are raw.
That's crazy.
These are recent.
Crazy. That's a hype sale. That for me is just waiting for it to go down.
Also got the All Kings rookie, so that new black card that we were talking with Alvaro the other night about. $1,800 that sold for his rookie card.
So those cards, and we need to do a proper segment about these and and break them all down, but they are fantastic.
They look hot.
I think, what's the worry about Topps coming in is that they're not going to make cards that people are going to want to collect. We've already got one. Like, I think people are going to genuinely chase these cards.
And
I'm putting them into the same sentence as like a Kaboom in a downtown. They're not like those cards as in terms of high end, but I think in terms of card design and collectability, like they've ticked the boxes in the same way.
Yeah, those All Kings rookie,
but out of a cheap product too, like that's kind of cool about it too. Yeah.
So they're going for quite a bit, 1,500 AUD. Yeah, there's a few of those going.
I wonder what the price will settle out with those ads, because even that to me seems a bit high.
Some of the golds are going around the $1,200 to $1,500 mark.
Yeah.
So look, it depends which auctions you're winning. But yeah, VJ Edgecombe, I think, is going to be a spike that is going to.
Did you say winning or shilling?
I said winning.
Oh, sorry.
Winning. We're not talking about the what's it called? The conglomerate. What are they called? Shine.
Wondershine.
The Wondershine index. The Wonder.
You can't blame him for everything that's going wrong in the hobby, Ad. Come on.
Exactly. Well, we can, but it's probably not accurate. All right, that's VJ Edgecombe. It's over to you.
Good job, man. All right, let's go to a break, and when we come back, we'll do Nikola Jokic.
Is he still in the league?
Pretty sure he is, yeah. All righty, thank you very much to Fast Break Trading Cards for your ongoing love and support for our show. We very much appreciate it. Thank you to Alvaro, too, for coming onto the show this week. He was a fantastic guest. And I think he gave us some great insights into, what's going on in the hobby, their opening up of Topps. Let's go down to their website at fastbreaktradingcards.com. There you will find sports trading cards, Topps, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, Formula One, tennis, UFC, WWE. You'll find memorabilia, pre-orders. You can go in there and rip a box of tops with the boys. Go down to 75 Tulip Street in Cheltenham, Thursday and Friday, 12 till 6, Saturday, 9 till 5, Sunday, 10 till 4. Contact them on Facebook and Instagram. Also, they've got a phone number on their website, which I probably won't read out on the podcast. Thank you so much, guys, for your ongoing love and support. Alrighty, we're back, Ad. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good. I'm very good.
All right, Nikola Jokic. Now, I'm just going to go straight to his PSA 9 sales because you were quoting to me a VJ Edgecombe sale that was over this, and I think I'm just going to do a direct comp to it. PSA 9 silver Nikola Jokic rookie card last sold for $1,200. So you could have 2 of these or that Edgecombe autograph, and I would take 2 of those.
I'll take the Jokic.
Any day of the week.
Yeah.
PSA 10, however, is a different kettle of fish altogether. It's currently trading at $4,400. And last year, I was talking profusely about these, about how that I wanted to purchase one. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've missed the boat, la-di-da-di-da. And if you look at the last 12 months of sales, I absolutely missed out. Yeah. So at November 24, it was trading at $2,500, which is still on the high side, but at the same time, very reasonable for somebody with, all world numbers. He is now currently trading at $4,500 for a 77% increase in his growth. If we scan in a little bit, the last 3 months, he's actually been very, very stable, up and down a little bit, but just 1% growth here. I think the reason why I put him number 1 after my sort of hype plays on this list is that I still think he's one of the better buys in basketball, despite all the growth that we just sort of mentioned then, because I think in comparison to, say, Jordan, LeBron, even Steph Curry, I think he's still, very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's really tricky for me, though, is, so I've started to look at, different ones. Like at the time I was looking at the blues last year, the oranges at the moment. There's just not a lot of sales data on these cards. It's actually really quite hard because I sort of get the feeling with these cards, people aren't keen on selling them, aren't keen on flipping them. He sort of moved into that thing of he's a genuine long-term hold. He's not
he's become a hold, yeah.
He's not a hype flip like what Wemby is, for example. I think we're going to see a lot of sales data on Wemby this year, like huge numbers, particularly if he keeps going. But, someone like Jokic, who I think is, just as good, definitely not the same amount of hobby hype. But I just get that feeling that we're not seeing the same amount of sales simply for the fact that people just want to hold on to them. All right, this next one on the list is for you, Adam. It is Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves is on the list. That's right. The most important.
Why? Why is Austin Reeves on the list? That's the question.
Now. I'll read some stats for you. Shall I?
You hit me.
35.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.8 assists at a player efficiency rating of 29.2.
Could I just remind you that I said last week he should be traded to have his own team?
True, fair. Do you know, they weren't Austin Reeves stats. That was SGA's. Austin Reeves, however, is also scoring 35.8 points. However, he's higher at 6.8 rebounds and 8.5 assists, shooting 57% from the field, shooting 43% from 3, and with a player efficiency rating of 32.6. Austin Reeves is holding the Lakers together, got them over the line against the Kings, couldn't quite get there against the Blazers. But he's definitely one to be watching because with the way LeBron is at the moment and the chemistry he's got with Luka, I think they are going to pay this man at the end of the season and extend him something with a very, very lucrative deal. I don't think Austin Reeves is going anywhere. And just to give you some data on his cards.
I agree with that, actually. I don't think the Lakers will move this kid. Yeah.
The pop count on his silver PSA 10 is 85 at present.
Yeah.
Last sold is very deceptive at $137.50 because
why is that deceptive?
That sale was on the 27th of August.
Right. So you think since that time,
no Austin Reeves cards have transacted since the 27th of August.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of people that are holding some of those 85 cards that are waiting to see what this man achieves, especially with Luka out for another few games at least and LeBron out for another few weeks.
So we've seen the spike in Wemby for the new season starting up. What do you think you should be paying for an Austin Reeves at the moment then? I
would say he's a solid $250 to $300
Yeah,
card.
I have to admit, I get that feeling he's going to go to 250 easy.
Yeah, and yeah, he's if you've got him, I'd be holding at this point. I would not be selling. I'd be wait for a little while longer yet. I think he's he's ready this season, and he's definitely got a chip on his shoulder about being that title of being the best third option on a team, because I think he's moving to second option very quickly.
Yeah. Do you think there's any truth to the speculation that the reason why LeBron is sitting out is because he's sort of sliding down the Lakers pecking order? Luka is now the number one. Austin is, maybe number two, number three. Do you believe in that?
I think there's a narrative, and I don't know what it is. That would be my honest thought. And I think maybe LeBron is using this injury time to figure out how he fits in, because he's never been the second or third banana on a team. So he's got to figure this out, how he plays Robin to Luka's Batman. And just because I'm on Basketball Reference, Austin Reeves's quoted nickname here is Hillbilly Kobe. Anyway.
All right. I feel like any more jokes we make about that, it's just going to get us into trouble. So why don't we move on to SGA?
Why not?
SGA 2018 rookie class. If you look back at his all-time sales data, it is kind of cool. You could have picked up an SGA for $46 at one point. He spiked all the way up to 1,100 in COVID, then went all the way back down again. His lowest point there was at 250, and then he had a very solid rise upwards to a total of 1,400. He's now trading it at straight $1,000. I think in terms of NBA pedigree, skill, the way that the league is currently played at the moment, his age, the age of the Thunder team. We're going to talk about more Thunder players later on in the show too.
Yeah.
I have no problem with this card being $1,000. The only thing I'm a little bit not 100% happy about is the population. The population's up to 709.
It's been increasing.
My only thing about Pop at the moment is, like, where are we heading with card collectors and population counts? Like, is the new acceptable population 1,000? Is the new accepted?
But it depends on popularity, right? It depends how long he's relevant for.
Sure, but should I be worried about this, or should I just say, look, it's okay because it's sub 1,000? I think.
All right, so if the Austin, go back to the previous one, if Austin Reeves was at 850 rather than 85, I'd be very concerned with the pop count on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's.
I mean, there's some mid players that have got populations of 800 though.
Sure. Yeah. But Wemby at 4,800 is a serious concern, right?
I think it's definitely to discuss. And I think to a lesser, it's the same conversation with SGA. That's the only thing that holds me back on this card. Otherwise, I think it's a home run. And I think people are going to make money on this card. If you're picking this up at $1,000, I'm a little bit troubled to see where you could go wrong on that. I think you should probably look at other cards though. So for example, the red number to 299, that's trading at 1,700 at the moment. I think there's a very strong argument to be made that, that's a really good purchase.
Yeah.
It's also, we were talking about too, in terms of tradability and how often cards are being sold. That card's actually being moved relatively frequently. The other one, I think, just to really quickly, last one before we move on to the next one, Fast Break Purple to 75. That last traded for 2,400. If you zoom in on this in the last, let's call it the last 6 months, that's been traded 4 times. So for a low numbered card, that's actually relatively frequently traded. All right, Ad. Next one we've got is your boy Luka.
Yes, that's right. 12 months ago, definitely wasn't my boy. Now, apparently, I'm the number one ticket holder of the Luka Doncic fan club.
And you also have a Luka jersey, don't you?
I do. I do. And I'm going to get another one. Because I want a yellow one and a purple one. Anyway.
Why
not? Yes, Luka is currently injured, which I'm a little disappointed about, because the first 2 games he absolutely lit it up.
Yeah, he looked good.
2 games, averaging 46 points, 11 rebounds, and 8.5 assists. Like, 2 massive nights for Luka. I hope he comes back very quickly.
Yeah,
I smell an MVP race this year, and he can't afford to miss too many games.
Did you say smell, or you bet it on?
I may have had a punt, and I if he continued at this rate, he would be definitely in the MVP conversation. That said, I think it could be a 3-horse race at this point. between Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and Victor Wembanyama at this point for the MVP. That's the massive sample size of 3 or 4 games. Luka Doncic, unlike Victor Wembanyama, has a pop count of almost half with his PSA 10 silver, 2,399 PSA 10s, and we thought that was a lot before we saw Wemby. Last sold for $1,699.99. So $1,700 will get you a Luka. He is up 40% in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Luka is, the move to LA and his performance at Eurobasket have definitely drawn some attention.
There was a short article written by an Upper Deck executive, or maybe it was the CEO. We're going to talk more about this on Sunday, but he was basically suggesting we're almost in a bubble at the moment. Like, we've only touched on a few players.
Yeah.
But all of them are up at the moment. Have we just chosen all the ones who are popular who are up? Or
we want to talk about people we like, right?
Yeah, but are you starting to get the feeling that, like, are these prices inflated? Because, I don't agree with pretty much 50% of what he wrote. I think was like BS, basically. But
okay,
when I'm listening to what you're saying, like with all these comps that we're going through, it's like things do seem pretty positive at the moment, and things do seem up a bit, don't they? Like,
I'll give you one that's down almost 30%. His name's Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So it's relative, right? Like, we're talking about players that are in the spotlight, that are playing well. Like, it's not we're not talking about Paul George, Joel Embiid. We're talking about people that have put on big numbers. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama coming out and dominating Anthony Davis in game 1, and everyone going, "Wow, the Spurs look scary."
Yeah.
So I actually think, and Luka putting up back-to-back 40-point games, Austin Reeves averaging 35 points a game, SGA also averaging 35. Like, we're not talking about slouches. Like, Jokic dropped some huge numbers the other day.
Yeah, no, real deal.
So maybe the ones that are up are the ones that are in the spotlight and doing well and have been doing well. I mean, the rookies we picked out, like, they're more prospecting. Ace Bailey's a prospect.
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't believe there's a bubble. I believe there's a gradual rise. It's like a stock market. We go ebbs and flows.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next one on the list is Giannis. I'm going to tick this guy off really quickly. Why do I think he should be on the list? Again, I'm going to start putting him into those sort of NBA at 75 lists. I think he's earned his place in that. So that's where in my head this guy is sort of sitting. I want to obviously talk about his silver PSA 10 rookie card. Of course, I want to talk about that. But I'm also really going to quickly go through a RPA of him too. So population on his silver is 87. It last sold for 7,500. Look, I've got no problem with this at all. I think for his pedigree, for his championship, for the low population, that card is right. Can you give me a scenario where that will go down, Ad?
Maybe. He's been pretty dominant this year. He's been very good. But if he has I don't know. They've got to win. The Bucks have got to win. They've got to be relevant.
You think he needs another chip?
He needs something. He needs a good playoff run. He needs some form of relevance.
Yeah.
And look, the Bucks are probably one of the better teams in the East this year, so there's a chance for it if they want to be.
Other one for me that I find quite interesting is that he sold for greater than $40,000 on 2 occasions, separated by more than 12 months. So it wasn't just a COVID bump. It was like COVID bump, he went down, went back up again. Yeah. So if you look at that graph from 2022, where it was up to 40K all the way down to now, I can also see how people could talk themselves into this saying, it's like, it's a good value card. So I think there's that part of me that also is, a bit like, that's in my head.
Yeah.
That card for me is just way out of my price range though. So for me, it's just a dream.
Yeah.
2013 National Treasures, Giannis vertical RPA. This is numbered to 5. I'm just going to have a bit of fun with you on this one here. This last sold for $3,000. The only problem with this sale is that it sold in 2015. So we've seen some crazy sales recently. I've got to say, that's at least 20x, hasn't it?
It has to have.
Maybe more. Yeah, I find his RPA market like just fascinating. I could just sit here for for the next
Just trying
45
to
minutes
work it out. Yeah,
and just
yeah,
go
yeah.
through them all because there's iMac 2 that
Yep.
last sold for $10,000. That's numbered to 99.
What happens if the
Yeah.
Bucks in the next couple of years just end up with first round exit, first round exit? No matter how good Giannis is, if he goes nowhere, does his legacy suffer as a result?
So I personally think he's going to ask for a trade. That's my gut feeling.
We've got a
Because
LeBron. If Milwaukee want LeBron,
if you look at him and his team that's been around him the last couple of years, even the hiring of Doc, it hasn't been fantastic.
no,
And I think
no,
it's going to get to a point where he's going to be like, look, this is not working. I've given you,
yeah,
my prime, given you a championship. They'll trade him to wherever he wants. I think that's going to be like a Damian Lillard type situation where it's an
yeah.
amicable split that, it goes like that. Yep. All right, let's move on. Steph Curry for you, my friend.
Steph Curry. Do you know what? Do you know what's it's amazing how this guy still got such a good love for the game. He's the biggest smiling assassin since Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Magic smile
100%.
used to light it up, but Steph
100%.
Curry will give you that smile and then drop a dagger three and smile even brighter. Aaron Gordon went and dropped 50 points for the Nuggets, and Steph Curry ruined his day by just saying, "Look what I can do," and just shot the lights out.
Yeah.
No one's going to remember Gordon's performance because of this man. Steph Curry, if he's not already up near the top of Mount Rushmore with as far as greatest players of all time,
Yeah.
like he definitely will be soon.
I think the comp on this guy is his market cap. I think that's how you try and get a handle of where he's at in terms of the all-time people and then in terms of how much has been bought and sold.
Yeah,
I think if you're tracking Steph Curry, that's the way to do it.
yeah.
And that's it. I think you can, all the other stuff you can just sort of filter out and just look at that and just say, look, is he under or over? And I think despite him moving up dramatically the last couple of years, I think you can still make that argument he's unders.
He keeps tracking. The last 6 months, he's still tracking up. His PSA 10 2009 Topps rookie card just sold in September for $12,000.
Yeah.
It's insane. This card keeps
What's
tracking
the
up.
pop on that ad? What's the pop on that?
372.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's interesting because so we just talked about the Giannis,
Mhm.
and that was what, 7K.
Mhm.
Would you rather a Giannis at 7K or that Steph Curry for an extra 5? I think that's a no-brainer taking the Steph. Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah.
It's a Steph. The PSA
Even with the
9,
slightly higher population.
the PSA 9 has a pop count of 1,500, and last sold for 2,500. So
I love that a lot. I love that cheaper entry point, even
yeah,
if it's
I
PSA 9.
know.
Yeah.
I'm very much now in. I need to get me a Steph. I really do. Like it's.
But dude, who cares if it's PSA 9, 8, 7? I think that honestly, as long as you're getting it at the right price and you're not, wildly overpaying for something, it's Steph Curry. I think there's always exceptions to that non-PSA 10 rule, and this is one
It's
of
like
them.
the Jokic,
Yeah.
right? Like it is. It's very much. I don't know. Steph Curry, still doing it. Just still being Steph. Good to see.
Yeah. All right, let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll do Anthony Edwards. Thank you so much to Neon Trading Cards for your ongoing support and partnership with us. It's very exciting to be pairing with a breaker who is a Topps official partner. Find them on Whatnot, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. NeonTradingCards.com is where you'll find all of their breaks listed. The only small thing I will say in terms of advice when you're looking through their stuff, make sure you apply the filter to remove all of their sold out breaks. Otherwise, you'll just be inundated with all the thousands of breaks that they have listed and also filled. Thank you so much to the boys at neontradingcards.com. Alrighty, we are back. Adam, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That was fun.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far, hasn't it? And so far, we've got through 10 players.
Pretty good. I'd 15 or 16 as my benchmark, but I thought
I reckon we might get to 16. That might be doable for us. All right, Anthony Edwards is the next one on the list. He is probably my most hated hobby card on this list so far. And the reason I'll say that is because of his price. He's currently trading at 850. His population is 2,194. And as much as I love his bravado and his on-court excitement and his skill level, so this is not throwing shade at him as a basketball player, it's more to the point of his personal achievements and also team success isn't there.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're buying into a card and you want risk, for me, Anthony Edwards is all of that because you're paying a high price without him having the accolades and also the high population count. So his silver is population of 2,194. Now, there is one card I wanted to talk to you about because I love this a lot. It's hideously expensive, but like I just don't care. I think this is just an all-time card. 2020 Crown Royale Anthony Edwards Kaboom. PSA 10, population 56, last sold for $15,000. Is this high? Yes, it is. However, we were talking about what's potentially some of the cards that are going to make the Wondershine Index in the future, or our own Wondershine Index in the future. I will put this card tentatively onto that list.
Okay.
It's a rookie. It's Anthony Edwards. It's a Kaboom. The population is low. Yeah, I love this a lot. Look, I think if you're serious about buying this card, you just track every single sale of this. You keep your eyes on it like an absolute hawk. Maybe one day in the future, it bottoms out, like they go out of fashion for a while, something like that. Something happens to Edwards, you swoop in and make a sale. I just think that, this is one of those cards for me. I'll put that into my like special list. I like that infinitely more times than his rookie card. Next guy on the list is going to be Jaylen Brown.
Now, Jaylen Brown. I'm actually bringing up multiple comps now.
All right, hit me.
Jaylen Brown is doing it by himself this year in Boston. He doesn't have
Tatum's
Tatum.
Out. They bottomed out their team in terms of talent-wise too, trading away Drew Holiday, Porzingis. Yeah, rough year for him.
Well, I mean, is it going to be a rough year though? I think for Jaylen Brown, maybe it's I don't know, maybe it could be a good year with Tatum dropping down to his last sold price was $570. Just context, he's bottomed down from like $800 to recent comps being around just below $600.
Great.
Right. Now I'm going to go and read some numbers about Jaylen Brown.
Hit me.
Population 311 on the PSA 10.
Yeah.
2016 Prism. It's a bit of a different design. I actually quite like these Prism cards. Ready for
everything
this?
From that era though was much lower pop. Yeah.
True. Last sold price for a silver Jaylen Brown rookie card was $250.
Yeah, that's bad.
Over the last year, that's down 32%. 6 months, it stayed pretty steady. It's actually up 11%. But $250 for Jaylen Brown or $570 for Jason Tatum. And that's a pop count of also 925. I would take 2 Jaylen Browns and the $70 change over the Tatum.
Yeah.
And I think my thing is buy. Jaylen Brown is a buy because I think he's going to be the guy in Boston now.
I think that's the more logical purchase.
Yeah.
And for full disclosure, I have one of these in my own collection.
Ooh.
I paid 500 Aussie for mine, so I've lost on that already. I think this is a really good example of good player, has team success, but isn't hobby popular. Like, you tell me, what did he need to do for his price to go up? Like, it should be up after winning the championship.
I think he lived in Tatum's shadow. I think it's purely living in the shadow.
Because then he won the Finals MVP, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, he won. He got the Finals MVP. So the league recognizes his talent. Maybe without Tatum there, if Boston do well, he gets a bit more recognition this time round.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think the logic is there, and I agree with that logic. But I think the hobby narrative on this kid has been written, man.
Yeah, it's look. We can criticize Boston people as much as we like. In fact, I really enjoy doing that as a Lakers fan. So
yeah,
but yeah, Boston fans have got it wrong as often they do.
I think this is hideously undervalued, and is this like a Clyde Drexler type thing where, 2-time No, he won one championship, didn't he? One championship, all the accolades that Drexler had. Like, no one cares, and
Doesn't, yeah.
is he the modern day Clyde Drexler?
Clyde the Glide.
Yeah. Alrighty, my boy Paulo Banchero is up next. PSA 10 silver, population on this is 887. He's currently trading at $395. If you look at his sales data, it is wild. It's hard to see where one dot finishes and the next dot starts. I'm looking at the all-time sales data here. Basically, he's been up and down like a yo-yo. That's the best way to say it. It's a bit flatter recently, though. So his all-time high is 599. He's currently trading at 395. So he's down, you could say, $200 from his all-time. Look, I think in the past I've been really high on this kid, and I still love his talent. I think he's amazing, and I think he's a really good scorer. I think he's a good leader. I think he's got a lot of good things about him, but at some point the league and the list becomes saturated. And so even for us tonight, like, where do we get to Banchero? 15 or 16 down. So another way of saying that is there's at least 10 better people to buy in the league than Banchero. So look, he might have his...
The Magic haven't started the best, let's be
Yeah,
fair.
he might have his moment in the sun one day, and I really hope he does, and I hope he gets a championship and all those good things. I wish him nothing but the best, but I think I have sort of mentally cooled off on this guy a lot.
Yep.
And so I think for me, until he drops down to say like $200, $180, something in that range, I won't be buying him up and sort of snapping him up. But
yeah.
So I think for me, this is a really good sort of, chance to sort of benchmark him and sort of get an idea of where we're at with that one. So our next one is Cade Cunningham, and I'm really interested to hear your take on Cade because...
Cade, just like we may have, I was on board. I thought that was the spike year. I was right. And gradually people got on board with Detroit are back last year. It was good to see the emergence of Cade Cunningham. I think it was, I don't know, he was undervalued because of his injury and the time he'd spent out. And then we got to see what he was capable of.
He was punished in his injury time 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, look, I'm just going to go straight into the numbers. It's impressive to see 12 months ago. So I actually have the 6-month data off. But this time last year, beginning of the season, in October 31st, 2024, Cade Cunningham, PSA 10. Pop count of this is 366. You could have picked this up for $263.
Yeah.
US, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward 12 months, we also had a spike where he was selling for $800. He sold for $800 back in March. And that's when he sort of rose. But after that sort of reset, beginning of the season, you can pick him up for last sold for $557. That is a 110% growth from last year.
Yeah.
Literally, the card's doubled in price. So if you got on Cade at the beginning of last season, you were going for one hell of a ride. I think he's in a good sweet spot now. I think that $600 mark is probably where someone of his caliber sits, especially at the low pop count. And I think the low pop count is going to be critical, especially if Detroit tastes some success.
I think that's the question, isn't it? So what's the peak of this kid? How high do you think he can go? And I do mean card value, but I also mean skill and team success. Like, do you think he can...
I think the next 2 years, yeah. Yeah. I think it's his team, 100%. And it's how he deals with being in the spotlight like this now. Because Detroit aren't the league pass team anymore.
No, absolutely not.
And there are a lot of Detroit fans out there that have been waiting for the Pistons to come good. So there will be some pressure on him this year.
Yeah.
This will test him. This will be his trial by fire, I think.
Yeah, I think for me, again, I have one of these in my collection, but if I didn't have one, I wouldn't be buying one now.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like...
Yeah, the shippers...
I don't think he's going to stay the same. He's either going to go up or he's going to go down. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm really unclear on that just because I think
Yeah.
a little bit, and we were saying this last year, is last year the sort of the year that he's going to take that step forward. I still think the same thing now. It's like he's still sort of proving himself in terms of
Mm-mm.
how high that ceiling is going to go. So, all right, let's go to a break, and then we will come back and we'll do Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams.
Nice.
US Sports Cards Australia. I was going to say they're our longest running partner, but I think could actually be Fast Break. Anyway,
It's neck and
thank
neck.
you. Thank you to Ross and team for your very long, ongoing support of our show. We really appreciate it. Go to ussportscardsaustralia.com.au. There you'll find sports breaks. Check out My Cards Australia, collectible protection, singles categories, hobby boxes, sports memorabilia. Also go to their Facebook page because that's where they also list their hockey breaks. That's the other thing I should have probably mentioned 50 episodes ago, but I didn't do that. ComCA Trading Cards is the other project that Ross has been putting a lot of time into. He's now got a beta site up and running. It's just a matter of getting people's cards from the submissions in and up onto the website. He's getting lots of sales through the website. It's currently working fine, but he's just really trying to pad that out a little bit. When you do your submission, write on the form anywhere, you can't comp this, and you'll save 10 cents a card. I think we previously had cited that it was about 6 or 7 cents a card. It's now saving you 10 cents a card on that. So
Glorious.
thank you so much to US Sports Cards Australia for your ongoing love and support. Alrighty, this is it. Our last quarter.
The final quarter. We're in the clutch time.
I think we're going to both go have a drink after this. Alrighty. I'm going to do this next two as a pair just because it's Oklahoma City Thunder. I personally think we have to talk about them just for the fact that I think all of us are going to be watching a lot of Thunder this year, whether you like it or not. I think they're going to be there to the end.
There's no avoiding it.
They're going to have lots of game on national TV. Like we sort of know how this happens with the champions. All right, Jalen Williams, population 700, currently trading at $230. That is an absolute buy. My only slight trepidation with that is the high population on that. However, I think people are going to be getting on board to this notion of how much skill Jalen Williams has. I would also like to illustrate he's a 2022 rookie. I don't think we've seen peak Jalen Williams yet. I also think, too, his confidence has improved in the last 12 months, and I think that's a really big deal for someone like that. Chet Holmgren, on the other hand, I love this. This is probably my favorite buy at the moment. He's currently trading at 157. Population on this is 674. I think Chet is an effing baller. I look at him play and I just can't get enough of everything he does on the court. I think the rap on this kid obviously is that he's not big enough and he probably doesn't do any one particular thing exceptionally, and I will accept that. But the thing that I love about this kid is he does everything. He facilitates, he dribbles, he passes, he rebounds, he defends.
This is Swiss Army knife, yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think, too, he's kind of a bit like KD for me, like where he doesn't care about anything but basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like a super weird dude, but at like a weird dude in a really awesome way. Like I just can't get enough of this guy at the moment. So, yeah.
So, all right, my question now for you is which one do you buy? Because
Chet. It's Chet all day. Look, I think if you go at
150. So I saw that price, that last sold price, 157.50 back in June.
Yeah,
we were talking about Chet before the hobby hangout.
I know,
and it was 150. I just checked the sold price, the sold listings, sold for 157 in June.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's still a buy then. It hasn't changed.
If anything, it's actually gone down a little bit in the last sort of 6 months, but at the same time, look, I think at some point his pricing has to move.
The last 3 months, it's down 1.5%.
It's as simple as that. Like this has to fix itself at some point. This for me is the ultimate. His price doesn't match the talent equation, and I love this so much. Anyway, that's enough of me frothing over that. LaMelo Ball, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, look, I thought it was time to put LaMelo up, given I think he sort of, due to injuries, has been a sort of forgotten quantity in the league. He's actually started the season quite well.
Can I say why I think he's forgotten?
Sure, because if it's Charlotte, we know.
Yeah, it was all just hobby hype, wasn't it? If you really sort of think about it and break it down, it's like he was the ultimate first-year hobby hype player where
it was
people love him because he's new. He was doing crazy stuff on the court, and then the hype goes away, right? Yeah.
Now, speaking of hype, I want to know, this will be a genuine buy, hold, sell question. Pop
Yeah.
count on this is 437. It last sold a day ago for $340 silver in a PSA 10.
I don't think that's terrible.
Well, would you rather 2 Chets or 1 LaMelo?
I mean, I would put that towards a Jokic. I would just sort of like hold my fodder,
Same as me putting stuff towards a Curry. Done.
wait
Yeah, I
long
get it.
term. Like, let's keep our eye on the price. Like, I'm at that point also now with my collection. It's like, I've done enough speculating. I need to
Okay.
start getting some blue chip stuff.
So
And
LaMelo's in year 5, isn't he? 5 or 6. So year 5. The question is, what's going to become of him?
Well, I think this year they're cooked already. Brandon Miller, which was going to be basically their go-to scorer, he's out with a shoulder injury.
Well, LaMelo's going to be their go-to scorer if he keeps going like this. 28 points a game, 8 rebounds and 9 assists, right?
I don't see him as a go-to scorer, though. I think he's a elite facilitator.
Yeah,
and if he's shooting all those shots, I personally think that takes away from the stuff he does well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, yeah.
I feel like he needs the Brandon Millers. He needs shooters around him to.
Of course, I don't disagree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
anyway, yeah, it's interesting that he's still at that $340 price point.
Yeah,
I find very interesting.
Donovan Mitchell, population on his silver PSA 10, 630, last traded at $170. This is value less than his talent level. The question is, as I would put to you with Jaylen Brown, will the hobby narrative ever turn around? I think we're at a point now where we can confidently say this is not going to change. The only hypothetical scenario I could imagine is if they go to the finals.
Okay.
He might have a 50% bump, but maybe the really good comp on this guy is actually Jaylen Brown. And you say the highest that he could go to is $250.
Really?
So you buy him at 170, you pray to the basketball gods that he gets to 250. Like, I just think, what's the point of buying this card at 170 to make a prayer like that? You know, it's like, look, if you PC this guy, go out and buy him. That's a great, great, great purchase. I'm just very much like, there's no point prospecting on this guy anymore. This is him in a nutshell. It's done.
Cool.
Jalen Brunson.
Now, I've just looked him up on Card Ladder.
Great.
Everyone knows I'm not the biggest Jalen Brunson fan, but looking at the comparison to LaMelo Ball, funnily enough, it's not very different. Like, it's actually, his pop count is 621. Last sold price is 350. I mean, the only difference is he's a 2018 rookie. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, I suppose that's the question. Do you take LaMelo or Jalen Brunson for 4? If you're, and I know you're not a fan of prospecting anymore because you've been there, done that. Now you've got your eye set on a Jokic. But if you get, I don't know, $350, I was going to say $500, you'd buy something else. If you were given $350 and you're at a show and you saw both of these in PSA 10, which one are you buying? Brunson or LaMelo?
I'll probably go for the Brunson.
Okay.
But at the same time, I would probably avoid both of them if I could.
If you had to buy one and you're
if
at
I have to, it's the Brunson.
Good, because if you buy one, I have to buy the other one. I'll take the Melo. That's fine.
Yeah, I just wonder with LaMelo, it's like,
I just think the ceiling on Melo is higher. I think the Brunson spike's been. I think, Melo's got the higher cap.
Maybe, but I think that a lot of the height and the hype around that was just that.
Was his dad.
And so once that goes away, whereas I feel like Brunson is, at this point in time, in his hobby time, he's very well established. And it's like, I kind of almost think of that as like a very safe purchase in that, it's probably not going to go up too much. It's not going to go down too much.
Yeah, fair.
You've just got this like very good veteran. Kevin Durant.
Go for it.
Great. All right. So for this one here, I'm going to do something a bit higher value, but I think this is a really fun one to talk about. It's the 2007 Topps Chrome. So that's relevant because obviously we've got Topps coming back into the market. Maybe we're going to start seeing some more designs back like this again. This is the white refractor number to 99, PSA 10. Population on that is 15. It last sold for $16,000. I really wonder with someone like KD, with all the hate that he gets these days, are we going to look back at this particular sale or even the ones that are lower than that and just say, what on earth were people thinking? Why didn't people buy this guy up and sort of see through that bias? Now, just hold on to your seat for 2 seconds. The all-time height that this card sold for, I'll give you one guess, actually. What's your guess of what it sold for?
So what's it currently? What was the current?
Currently trading at 16,000. What do you guess that his peak was?
30.
The peak was 288,000 US dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did Wonder shine bright? No. Oh God.
Look,
Yep.
I actually think overall Kevin Durant is a good buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for all of those reasons that I just said, there's this weird hate around this guy. When I say he's a good buy, I mean very specific autographs, patch autographs, but you need to hold this stuff until it becomes vintage. That's where I'm going with that. Because I think he's going to be an all-timer. At some point the narrative is going to change on this kid and people are going to recognize him for who and what he is. All right, the last card is going to be done by you, my friend, which unfortunately means we can't talk about LeBron James, which makes me so sad that we didn't talk about him.
We can talk about him once he comes back from injury, all right?
We've got no time, Ad. Sorry, mate. No time for LeBron. We got to
no time for LeBron. No, if he's got sciatica.
That's
now I've put my final call as Tyrese Maxey.
I saw you change the list. I'm loving this, Ad. I'm loving it.
I think this man deserves some credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And if Philadelphia are going to have a successful season, this is the man that is going to be responsible for it.
Not VJ?
VJ's going to be his partner in crime, and Joel Embiid's going to put his hat in the ring to compete with Austin Reeves for best third option in the league. Going from MVP to best third option, that's Joel Embiid's fall from grace. Yes, and Paul George doesn't factor. Anyway.
But crazily, maybe that's how you win a chip, though, right? Like that's like the Bill Walton thing in how he won a championship with the Celtics.
Yeah,
maybe that's Embiid's destiny.
It could be. Now, I mean, as we all love the microscopically small sample size, but in 3 games, Tyrese Maxey is averaging 37 points per game and almost 8 assists.
Yeah,
like he is lighting it up. He's shooting 52% from the field. Almost 52% from 3. He's shooting 46% from the field. The guy is lighting it.
Yeah, he's on fire
up.
So you got to expect that to sort of come back to earth at some point.
Well, but if I think if he continues this way, or at least on that 30-point per game trajectory, he's going to become one of the more dominant players in the league. This could be an all-star year for Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, the 8 assists is like really promising too, isn't it?
Yeah, so he started the year at around about the 250 mark a year ago, dipped out, and has recently spiked up to his last sale of 261 with a pop count of just under 600.
Yeah.
As opposed to the last couple of discussion points with LaMelo Ball and who was it? Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
At 261, I'm saying Maxey is a buy.
Okay.
I think he is the real deal, and I think this year is his time to shine in Philly because I think he's got a higher ceiling than $250, $260.
So just let me push back on this.
Sure.
Just to be annoying, basically. Why is he different to Donovan Mitchell and Jaylen Brown?
Because I think he's been given the opportunity to take over and lead the team, and I think it's becoming noticeable that he's doing that.
But Donovan Mitchell's also like the number one on that team, right?
Is he? There are times throughout the year that he's not.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's question marks on whether he is or he isn't.
No. Like I agree with you, but I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here, right? Like, why is it okay to buy Maxey, whereas Donovan Mitchell is like just to me wildly under in terms of his talent profile?
I don't think Donovan Mitchell's got time for that spike. I think Maxey's young enough to warrant the change, the directional change for a spike.
Yeah, okay.
And that's probably why I would have bought the LaMelo over the Brunson. I think Brunson being that couple of years older is sort of set in concrete their fate, so to speak, as far as their hobby fate.
Yeah.
But I think Maxey is going to put Philly back on the board, and if Philly's back on the board, he's the one they're going to collect.
I mean, Daryl Morey is just like a lucky bastard at this point, isn't he?
Yeah. But if
Like,
if his hobby love follows Joel Embiid, he's probably a sell because he won't amount to much.
no, but honestly, they tried to win a championship last year. Then they pivot halfway through the year, realizing that they're not going to be good. They're going to maybe even lose their draft pick. They bottom out and then get
Yeah,
VJ Edgecombe. Like,
it's pretty crazy.
seriously.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right, mate. Thank you, everybody at Central Coast Radio, for listening and tuning in. Thank you to all of our Canadian friends on Central Coast Radio listening to us. We
Yeah.
really appreciate you. I'm also going to do a shout out to our YouTube followers. We now have more US viewers and supporters than in Australia. So, people in America, thank you so much for tuning in and consuming our content. We appreciate it.
We love
Adam, I appreciate you and your time. I hope
Thanks,
you had
Russell.
a good time tonight. I had a
This was
fantastic
lovely.
time. Yeah.
This was great. Yeah.
I just needed this just to go through a whole bunch of cards because we haven't done this for a really long time. And
No.
you know, it's good to do all the clickbaity sort of stuff, but also it's sometimes just nice just to sit down and look at some cards and froth,
Some cards,
basically.
talk
Yeah.
about prospecting on players and where they're headed, the trajectory. Awesome.
Have a great day, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Done.